Whenever you start your lock journey, please remember it's going to be okay. I know it seems a little stressful and daunting because you're probably literally about to install over 300 locks in your head by yourself. I just don't want anybody to ever question their ability to get it done. Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. Lately, I have been getting an influx of questions about what you can do to prepare for installation day whenever you're starting your locks by yourself. So I came up with 5 tips for y'all, everybody who's trying to DIY their micro locks, and I hope that this helps because I wish that there was a video like this whenever I was starting my lock journey about 3 years ago, or almost 3 years ago. There were like 10 videos and all of them were super old and grainy. I'm just really happy for the come up with this lock community. There's a lot more creators and a lot more journeys that we can all follow. I kind of went on a tangent. But anyways, before we get started, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. Also, don't forget to click on the bell so that you will be notified every time I post a video. Before we get into it, I just wanted to give y'all a brief rundown about me and my lock journey real fast. I started about 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. It'll be 3 years in November. My locks were started with 2-strand twist, and my hair type is like a 4A, 4B. And I have around 645-ish locks. I actually have a video documenting my installation. It was over a couple of days. So if you want to watch that, I will have that linked in the iCards up there. I really recommend that you guys watch that video as a reference. Back then, I did not know what I was doing. So I literally don't teach y'all anything in that video. It's just literally a come get locks with me type of video. So there's no tips in that video at all, but all the videos after that, I've done monthly updates, I've done Q&As, I've done a video talking about my regrets and my mistakes. All that is in my Microlocs playlist, and I really recommend that y'all watch that. And I also wanted to add that yesterday I made a lock tips playlist for y'all, and those videos are more recent, and I kind of recap a little bit over my journey, and I answer some questions that I get a lot regarding my journey. If you're interested in my lock tips playlist, I will have that also linked. You know what, I'll have all of my lock playlists linked down below in the description box, so if you want to watch it, you can. I have a hairstyles playlist, I have lock tips like I just said, I have a Microlocs journey playlist. If you're interested in me making a playlist just strictly for my lock updates, let me know. I feel like that might be really helpful because you can literally watch month 1 all the way to year 2 consecutively, you know. I think that that's the playlist that I'm going to make next. Let me know if you'd be interested in that though. But anyway, I think that I'm done rambling for now. Let's go ahead and get into the 5 tips. So tip number 1 is make sure that you have healthy hair. Is your hair healthy before you start? You are about to create a foundation for the rest of your lock journey, and you really want to make sure that your hair is healthy before you start your locks. I would recommend that y'all blow your hair out, cut off any dead ends, any split ends, all that, and just make your hair even and healthy. Don't try to hang on to extra hair because you feel like your hair is going to be longer. If the hair is dead, you gotta cut it, baby. Just cut it. It's okay. It's going to grow back, and it's going to grow back healthier. You don't want to have any dead hair, dead weight attached to this new journey that you're about to start. So go ahead and cut off all the dead ends. Heat damage, just cut it off. If you have any kind of color damage, just cut it off. Just cut off all that dead weight before you start this new journey. I know that a lot of people probably wouldn't, and they refrain from doing so because they want their hair to be longer or appear longer. But just trust me, you want to start this journey on a fresh, clean slate. You don't want any kind of dead hair, damage, color damage, anything like that. So just go ahead and cut that off first. And also, if you plan on coloring your locks, I would recommend that you go ahead and do it. Do it before you start. It might take some time for your locks to mature, and I wouldn't color locks that aren't fully mature yet. I don't know, that's just me. I know that people do it all the time, but I just wouldn't because your locks are in the process of trying to form, and I feel like coloring it might disrupt that process a little bit. Don't think that that's the best idea. I know that people do that all the time. There are plenty of people coloring their locks on YouTube, and their locks aren't fully mature yet, but that's them. All I'm saying is, if you decide to color your hair, or if you even think that you want to color your hair, go ahead and do it. I wish that I had done it, because after I started my locks, I really wanted to color my hair. I wanted a little dark brown to light brown ombre moment, but I haven't done it because I'm just afraid of disrupting the locking process right now, because it's almost been 3 years into my journey and my hair is still nowhere near complete or fully mature yet, so I'm kind of on hold with that. To recap on tip number 1, try to make sure that your hair is as healthy as it can be, and if you want to color it, go ahead and do it, girl. Just go ahead and do it. So my second tip would be to make sure that you start your locks off on clean hair. As I said a little bit earlier, I do recommend that y'all watch my installation video, because I show you guys the shampoo and conditioner that I used with my hair before I started. I think it was about $12 or so, but I used that one because I had heard good reviews on it, and once I got to the store, it was literally only like 1 left or 2 left, and I bought the last 2. So I felt like if it's only 2 left in the store, it must be a hit. So I'm gonna go ahead and try it out. And I really loved it, and I used that clarifying shampoo from the start all the way up until like about a year, and then I started experimenting with different shampoos. Also, if you suffer from really dry hair and you feel like that's going to be a problem, before you start, I would go ahead and cleanse your hair with that clarifying shampoo. Maybe go ahead and do a deep conditioning treatment and make sure you wash all of that conditioner out. And then once you're done, I would recommend that you lightly oil your hair. Lightly. Emphasis on the word lightly. You don't want your hair to be boggled down with all these products before you start your locks. You just want to avoid any kind of heavy products because you don't want to cause buildup. That's why I say lightly oil your hair. Make sure you wash all of that conditioner out. I would not recommend blowing out your hair. I know that a lot of people ask me that. A lot of people were asking if I blew my hair out whenever I started my locks, and the answer is no, absolutely not. In my opinion, I feel like your hair should be in its natural state whenever you start your locks. I feel like it would be kind of awkward to start your locks off on blowing out hair, because with locks, you want your hair to shrivel up and tangle up. That's how the locks form. So I would start your locks off with your natural hair texture. Maybe just spray some water on it, and that's it. Do not blow your hair out. I did not blow my hair out. Again, I will have the video linked so that you can watch it, because I actually had to go back and look the other day, because I'm like, did I blow my hair out? I don't know, it's been so long ago. But I went back and checked, and I did not blow my hair out. So I really wouldn't recommend that y'all do that. Tip number 3 is about your grid. This is probably one of the most important things that you can spend time on whenever you start your locks. The reason why your grid is so important is because that is going to determine how you can style your hair in the future. So if you would like to have the most freedom with styling your locks, I would really recommend that you take your time on your grid. Whenever you start your grid, you can do it in many different ways. There are some videos on YouTube on like the best method for your grid. It really just depends on your hair density, how many locks you plan to have, and how versatile you want your locks to be. So your grid is very, very important. And we didn't use any kind of mathematical calculations when it came to the grid. I like to have in the middle part, and I also like being able to split my hair right here and get a side part, and for it to look nice and even because all the lines are straight. So we kind of just went along with that template, I guess, a little bit. I really recommend that y'all take your time on the grid. The grid can take a couple of days. If it takes you a couple of days to make your grid, that is perfectly fine, because that is a major key to your locks and the way that it'll turn out. Tip number 4 is about all of the products that you need to get together before you start your locks. I did do a video about my lock essentials, or my lock product essentials. I really recommend that y'all watch that video. I'll have it linked. I showed you guys my lock tool, the comb that I use, the tools that I use to separate my hair into different sections and stuff like that. Lastly, tip number 5 is whenever you get started. Whenever you start your lock journey, please remember it's gonna be okay. I know it seems a little stressful and daunting because you're probably literally about to install over 300 locks in your head by yourself. Or maybe you have help from someone else, but maybe that person isn't a loctician or anything like that. Like in my situation, my mom started my locks, but she was not a loctician. We were just kind of going with the flow and going for what we know. If that's you, it is okay. It's perfectly fine. Whenever you get started, just remember to please take your time, and whenever you're tired, stop. It's okay. If it takes you 2 weeks to complete your locks by yourself, that is perfectly fine. If it takes you a month, more power to you. If it only takes you 2 days, Good for you. That was really fast. I really can't stress this enough. Please take your time when you're starting your locks. Remember that this is the foundation. This is super, super important. Think about when, you know, your house is being built. I'm sure that you wouldn't have wanted the construction workers or the home builders to just slap the foundation together because they got tired. No, you need to take a break and go home, cool down. You do that, handle that. If you need to stop, put the comb down, you do that. Just handle that. It's okay. Just make sure that you keep in mind that it doesn't matter how fast you get done, you just really want to take your time and do it right, because like I said, this is the foundation. You are laying the foundation. I didn't want to use that word again, but you laying the foundation. I used it again, but anyways, you know what I mean. This is very important, so take your time. Whenever you get done is whenever you get done. There's no rush to it. If you do have to go to work or something like that and you don't want your hair to be looking crazy, I've seen a couple of people do different methods. A lot of people that I know started from the crown of their head in the middle, and they just kind of put their hair up into a puff whenever they had to go to work or school or something. And then some other people did the opposite, where they started with the perimeter and they just kind of put the locks over the loose hair in a bun at the top of their head. It's just up to you. Those are a couple of options that I saw. Luckily for me though, I started around Thanksgiving break, I think, so I didn't have to go to school. I didn't have anywhere to go, so I was just looking crazy by the head for about 4 days. Okay, so those are all the tips that I have for y'all. I hope that this video was somewhat helpful. If I missed anything or if you have any other questions, leave them in the comments and I will answer them for y'all. Also, if you have started your lock journey, please drop at least one tip for everybody so that we can all kind of help each other out here. I know that this can be very daunting. I just don't want anybody to ever question their ability to get it done. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video to anybody that you think could get some kind of knowledge from it. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at TyKara.Ann. I'll talk to y'all in my next video. Thank you so much for watching again, and I'm out.
If you're doing what everyone else is doing, you're doing it wrong.
One of the best to ever do it.